Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Game Changers podcast. My name is Quinn Seshis, and it's a privilege and pleasure to be here with you, as usual. My next guest is a man who loves music, not just music, but the arts in general. His name is Luc Baz, and he is a rapper of Haitian origins and utilizes his freedom fighting heritage to guide his art, both in the music and the fashion space. I can't wait to introduce him to you. Here is his amazing story. Hey Luke, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Very happy to have you on. A
Appreciate
mutual friend of ours told me so much about you, and I can't
it.
wait to have a conversation about your journey in general and to
Right.
get some amazing insight from you.
I'm excited, man. Let's talk.
For sure. For sure. Let's get straight into it. My first question will be a general question. I like to get the individual's perspective on themselves to begin with. So just tell my listeners and my viewers a little bit about yourself, some general information.
Um, I'm a Haitian man from Brockton, Massachusetts. My family and my culture is from Haiti. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm an artist, man. I come from the city of Brockton, man. I've been making music for quite some time. I'm part of this collective called Van Buren Records. Um, yeah, man, that's that's really it. Just an artist, man.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So tell me what inspired you to get into music? You said you were an artist, but why did you decide to get into music to begin with?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like my whole life I was always like I always liked art, but I never really paid it too. I didn't pay attention to it too much because I was into like sports. I was into basketball at the time, and then it was just like there was just one day I was just sitting in class. Like I would always write. I'd always write
Mhm.
every here and there, but it wasn't like it's something I didn't really care for too much. And then it just felt like one day something just said, "Yo, you should start making music. Like start making music." And I just never looked back. I just always just like I just listened to it. I'm very like intuitive with myself.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
yeah, that one day I just heard something just told me to just make music, and I just never looked back from it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love to hear that, man. I like to hear, that you music was just something that happened organically. Because I think sometimes people end up getting into something by force, but it sounds like for you, it just kind of happened.
Nah, yeah, it's not by force. It's like it's something that just happened, and then it's just like it's a part of my life now. It's just like I definitely can't see myself doing like I can't see myself not doing it anymore.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Got you, got you. All right. So you said that you have Haitian heritage. Um,
Yeah.
has that influenced you in your music at all, and in your approach to creativity?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely just like based off of like my heritage and just like the culture of my people. Like Haitians are fighters, so
Yes.
I could definitely like see the resemblance from just like my culture into my music and just like how I approach things. Very innovative. Um, but soon I do want to take it up a notch with like even pulling from like sounds and stuff. Like naturally, I'm very like Haitians. We're really big into like synths, and I
Right,
know
right.
like naturally, like my ear just loves that. But I
Okay,
haven't
cool.
like I definitely want to dive into like just the sonics of like my culture a little more.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So I find it pretty interesting that you said that Haitians are revolutionary, and well, if you know the story of Haiti, they're the first Black Republic,
Yeah,
first republic to to really fight for their own freedom. And would you say that these themes are showcased in your music?
absolutely. Like if you just get to know me, like even my music, and just get to know me as a person, like you could definitely see like I'm definitely like I'm a very outspoken person when it's time. I'm definitely like I fight for the things I want. yeah, like if you get to know me more as a person,
Right.
you will definitely see like the roots in me.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
Lovely. That's very interesting to me, and I find that to be something very, very important to note as well. All
yeah,
right. So
man.
then take me for your creative process then. Behind your music, how do you, or rather, create music then?
It's like multiple. It's like different things. Like depending
Okay.
how I feel throughout the day. Like there'll be times where it's just like the words just come. They'll come like just right there. I can write the song in like 10 minutes. Then there's
Right.
days it takes me like 3 days to make the song.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can only write like 1 or 2 lines every 30 minutes. It's just
Right.
depending.
Right.
Yeah, it's just depending how I'm feeling. But I know especially now, it's like it's definitely sporadic. My creative process is definitely like different now. Like I said, it'll take me like sometimes it's just like sentence by
Mm-hmm.
sentence. I'll just take it,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, 30 minutes just to write a sentence.
Right.
Because right now I'm definitely like prioritizing, like really just making sure I'm saying something. I'm really like just being real and authentic, and I'm really just being original. I'm really just like trying to pull. I'm trying to pull from something that's just not visible, like something that I haven't seen yet. Like when I make music. Um, so yeah, definitely right now is definitely. It's just like it could be all over the place. It's just definitely like
Right.
what the beat's saying to me at that moment.
Got you. Got you. So it's really a feel thing, I guess,
Yeah,
for you then.
yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So then, do you then incorporate everyday experiences into it? So do
absolutely.
your everyday experiences then influence your music? Do you
Yeah.
utilize like storytelling in the lyrics as well?
Storytelling. Yeah, not too literal. I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
hyperbole guy. Like I could
Okay, good.
definitely over exaggerate, and I just like my
Right.
brain. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. My day to day, I can only create from like being real. I mean, and being authentic. I don't really know how to be anything else but that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I guess that's, well, not I guess I know that is the best way to go about it, because um in this world we have so much fake things around us, and the real is what is real, and that is what people really want out of not just artists, but out of their peers, out of human beings, fellow human beings, in general. So I think
Mm,
that definitely connects you with individuals.
yeah, definitely. It's people could see through that, and we
Hmm.
need originality. There's so many people that's covered. There's already been a you. There's already been a me. Like time to be you. Like what you're giving to the world hasn't been seen yet. So it's like definitely take heed to that. Um, you know what I mean? Just being original. Whatever your story could be helpful to the next person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely, and and that's something important to note as well. You know, the importance of being original, and I like that you what you said. That what you have to give has not been given to the world as yet. There is only
Mm-hmm.
one you, and only one you can ever happen, right? I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
might pull stuff from other individuals, or other individuals might pull stuff from you, but there's only one authentic you, and it's
Yeah.
important to highlight your voice.
Right.
S- Speaking about pulling stuff from other individuals, though, is there anybody who has inspired you? Any other artist or people in general who has inspired you during your time as music that you would like to highlight?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, like I'm inspired by like I'll say I'm inspired by everything. Like I try to stay open minded to just the
Hmm.
world because there's just inspiration everywhere. But like
Right,
I know like I could say like Kanye is a big inspiration
got
to
you.
me. Kendrick
Right.
Lamar,
Hmm.
Jay Z, Travis Scott, um, like Steve Jobs, um, Virgil Abloh, Kobe Bryant.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like it's a long list.
Yeah,
of
right,
people that
right,
really helped me.
absolutely. Right. And one thing that I can say about that list that you just gave is these are all individuals who think outside of the box, whose perspectives are not what you would expect. You know, they come
Right,
at something in a completely different angle that you'll never expect people to get to or to get at, and it creates something beautiful and a
100%.
masterpiece. Well, masterpieces when they're done.
Exactly, exactly. They're very
Absolutely.
all of them. They all pull from the same source of like being trying to be authentic and to be
Mhm.
original, tell what their story.
Got you. For sure, for sure. And I would agree with that. And some of the names that you give there as well are my own inspiration. So I know as creatives, we tend to take from individuals who can really inspire us, but particularly those who do things that many other people would not expect, because that is really, really inspirational.
Uh, Thank you, man.
All right, all right. So we're moving on to a segment of the interview that I really like. It's one of my favorite segments. It'll tell me a little bit more about Luke the individual, more than just Luke the artist. All right. So
Right,
um, these are the quick hitters segment. So these are rapid fire questions. So you can answer them as quickly as possible. If you take your time, I won't beat you up on it. But the idea is to answer as quickly as possible. All right.
all right.
All right, so first quick hitter question. Name your top five artists. They can be dead or alive.
All time.
All time, all time. And in
Um,
no particular order, because I think that would be make it a little bit too difficult. So in no
right,
particular order,
right.
just name the top five.
So Jay Z,
Mm-hmm.
Jay, Kanye, Kendrick. I love Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as a lately, people gonna look at me. I love Future, man. Future might
Okay.
be number five.
Okay,
Future have
cool.
might have took five.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you think people will look at you sideways for choosing that last pick?
For me to say Future in my top five, some people may disagree, but just
It's your top five, bro. I mean,
right.
nobody can tell you. Nobody
Oh,
can tell you anything. It's yours. It's your list. You created the list, and nobody can knock
right.
that list. So I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So these are your top five artists. My
Yeah.
next quick hitter question would be: what is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Um, Two things. Both for my parents.
Okay.
Um, my dad always said, "Yo, you should always have money in your pocket." I know that it's so like it's so small, minuscule, but it
Yeah.
kept me focused throughout my whole life.
So, mhm.
And then my mom always said, "Be careful how you treat people on your way up, because you might see them on your way down."
Way down. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
those two things just kind of help shape me, like as a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. These are very Caribbean sayings. I'll tell you
Facts.
that for sure. For sure. if your
Absolutely.
parents if your parents are from the Caribbean, yeah, yeah, you'll definitely hear these two things all the time. So absolutely, absolutely, and I like that, man. I like that, and both things ring true. For you, regardless of what phase of life you are in, whether you be young or whether you be old, both of these things are very, very true, and you learn, and they become even truer the I guess the older you get or the more experience you get.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right, bro. So my next question will be, and my final quick hitter question that is would be, who would you like to see on Game Changers next? Who would you like to see on this podcast?
Um, I love to see a St. Lucian artist. I think I'm not
Okay.
too familiar with, other than my brother Dupes.
All right.
I'm not really too familiar with artists from that side of the
St.
world.
Lucia.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely, absolutely. And we have a couple lined up actually. I'm not let the cat out of the bag yet, but
Mhm.
we do have a couple of them lined up, and I'll definitely put some artists out there so that you can hear from them, and then you
Absolutely.
can also, I guess also be inspired by them as well. So yeah, that is definitely coming up, and for sure we will be working on that.
That's fire.
Yeah, for sure. All right, bro. So we're moving away from the quick fire questions, more to the long answer questions. Um, so I know that you're the creator of a clothing brand. First of all, tell
Mm.
us what's the name of the clothing brand, and how did the venture come about? What was the vision behind it?
It's called Luc Soley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Soleil means like sun in Haitian
Mm-hmm.
Creole.
Yeah.
Like the vision behind it is just there's this phrase that I love. It's in the Bible. It's called
Mm-hmm.
"Nothing is new under the sun," and
Mm-hmm.
just based off my art and just based off of just my life, I feel like I just have so much stories that I need to share. And like I said earlier, like my story can help shed light on somebody else's. And there's nothing new under the sun. We all have we're all different people, but we all share something similar. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just like me sharing my light, shedding my light on you, and like making you and giving that confidence to you, making you feel like I could do the same, giving you that hope. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
through the music, through the fashion, because those are things that really help people become confident and really help them shed light and help them really express themselves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what vision then do you have for its future then? The brand. What are you trying to do with it? I know most brands have, well, all brands have messages behind it. What are you trying to really convey with the brand?
Like I said, I really want this to be the pipeline to just expression. People just really
Okay.
expressing themselves, sharing their story, also utilizing the stories of others and just helping and just making sure that goes right back to you. Like just really finding your voice. Like this creating this. I haven't put much out yet from it, from the music to the clothing,
Mm-hmm.
but I could
Right.
say just building it in the last few years that I have, it's helped me find my voice. It helped me find who I want to be and find like who I plan to be in the future. So that's just really what it is. Like utilizing my message and utilizing what gone through in this last few years and just shedding light like the sun. The sun's gonna shed light and it's gonna help you uh, find that inspiration for yourself. And then in the future, it's just like we're just gonna do it on a larger scale, from just music to fashion to anything creative. Um, that's like the whole point is to serve just creativity as well. And creativity is in so many different places. Like like I said, music, fashion. It could be tech. It could be through food. It could be through just conversations, relationships, dating, or whatever the case may be. There's so much to pull from it, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So do these two worlds connect? Does your music world and your fashion world connect? And if they do, how so? I think that's interesting.
Yeah, it does, and I'm still building upon it. I think it's just both of those just play off one another. It's just expression. Like my music is the verbal side of it, but the fashion is the physical side. So it's just like music, obviously you could feel me, you could hear me. Sometimes you can see me through music videos, but mainly the fashion helps that. Like it helps create a world. It creates the image. It creates all these different things on what I'm trying to display. So they do go hand to hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That and I like, I like that you utilize one creative element to create another creative element. And I often see that happening, some often our our creativity doesn't stay in one box. Like it blossoms into so many other things, because when you create one thing, then you realize, hey, I can actually use a part of this thing to create something more, and then it continues to blossom and explode, and it really changes the game in that way.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Abs-
man. Creativity is just like it's like a web. It's like it's just bop 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 bop.
Yeah, for sure,
Mhm.
for sure, for sure. All right. So also on the fashion side, a little birdie told me that you have your own Converse sneaker. I'm interested as to how that even came about.
All right. Yeah, man, it was just really just it stemmed from the music, just putting out some great music, touching
Mm-hmm.
people. And like I said, I've fe- I've I've done a great job at utilizing fashion to express myself. Like I'm not just
Mm.
wearing outfits just to wear an outfit. Like I'm not just
Right.
putting together. Like it's bigger, it's deeper than that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta really express who I am, how I'm feeling for the day as well. And yeah, man, I've been able to work with some phenomenal people in the process of doing that. And Converse was one of those great people. I genuinely enjoy working with them. Um, yeah, man, I worked on that. I designed a shoe for my previous album, Angel Never Die, and that was a
Mm.
cool moment. It was cool, and it's cool. Like I see people wear it. Like sometimes I see people wear it in person, and it's just really cool. It's
All
cool.
right.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
can
like
imagine.
that's why I love fashion because like it's just something physical. Like
Right. Right.
music is sometimes it's just I can't grab it too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got you.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing. But I love physical things. I love like touching things. I'm a really hands-on person. Um, you know what I mean? So that's where like fashion, like it heals that other side of creativity for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, in terms of physical things as well, yeah, there's something just hits different about actually, touching something, or
Yeah,
holding something in your hand. It just hits different, whether that be something that you write, and it gets published, or fashion, like you said. So I get where you come from 100%. It just hits different, man.
it does. It does.
All right, so let's talk about challenges though. I mean, I know you would have faced many challenges as the co-founder of Van Buren Records, and also a creative in this creative space. What are some of the challenges that you have faced both as a rapper and a fashion entrepreneur, and how have you overcome them?
Um, I think being like a rapper or just an
Hmm.
artist, but specifically a rapper, you can get deemed as just ignorant, especially being
Mm.
black, just first and foremost. Yeah, it's just like you get deemed as just being ignorant sometimes. You could be deemed as some people could just be threatened by you just by little things, and it's like you won't even
Right.
do nothing. You know what I mean? People just
Hmm.
stereotype you a lot.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of things too, just like from just and rightfully so. Like there's, let me not say rightfully so, but there's moments where I can understand where rapper can have a bad connotation. But me,
Hmm.
I'm not like that. You know what I mean? So I don't like when someone gets written off and they didn't even get a chance to like tell their side of the story. That's why storytelling and all these
Absolutely.
things is very important to me because it's just like this is my life. This is who I am. Um, that's the only way we get connected to people is the story that they share
Hmm.
and that they possess. So yeah, man, I think that's one of the biggest things that really can could get me angry where I'm not able to express that when I'm not able when I'm being written off. You know what I mean? Where I'm being denied collaboration. Or there's been plenty of times where I wanted to do events, I wanted to curate something, but off my background, I just couldn't because it could be deemed as a risk. Even just like saying just going to the bank and stuff like that and trying to
Mm.
get funding for your business. It's just, oh, you're involved in music. Oh, it's
All right.
this.
Vulnerable, volatile.
Yeah, man. It's like it's an industry that definitely comes with a lot.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know what I mean? But we make it work.
For
We make it
sure.
work on the day to
For
day.
sure. For sure. So then, what are some of the lessons that I guess that you learned from that in particular? Being written off, but still being successful in your space. What are some of the lessons that you learned from
Yeah.
that?
You got to create your own world, man. That's where like a Luc Soley comes from. That's where I start building. That's where these ideas come from. Where like I kept getting written off. I kept getting pushed away, and you know what I mean. I just needed something of my own. I needed to build something of my own. For wanting people to respect, and whereas also I don't have to chase nothing. I don't have to chase nobody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that path that comes with a lot. It comes with patience. It comes with like, yo, it's not overnight. When you're trying to do something that hasn't been done, um, or you're trying to just take a route of just ownership and stuff like that, or innovation, it gets the sometimes people don't always respect it, but
Mm-hmm.
the reward could be great in the end if you just hang on to it and you just put in the work. You know what I mean? But that's where, like in his last year, that's where like Soleil and all these things come from. Because I'm just like, okay, I'm tired of being told no. I'm
Right. Right.
tired of having to
Absolutely.
wait for somebody. I'm tired of all this thing. Now I'm just like, all right, let me just create what's lacking, what's missing in the world around me. Let me
Mm-hmm.
create that now. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep, absolutely. And like you said earlier on in the interview, there's no one like you. So there's no one that could create that space like you. And I think we often, like you said, we often find ourselves being frustrated by, the fact that things don't exist. But I mean, especially as creatives, you can create it. You can take it upon yourself to find ways to actually contribute to not just your society, but the world in general, through creating those things that are lacking. And I mean, from a business perspective, that's how these things are profitable. But not just from a business perspective, from a socially conscious perspective, that helps develop our world, and that helps develop individuals around you, your loved ones, these type of things. So yeah, creatives have a big role to play in the world. I mean, if you remove creativity in the world, it will be very, very dead. So
Well,
um
I mean, the world is built off of creativity. Like
absolutely.
God,
Absolutely. God is a creator.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we're moving on a bit to the back end. Van Buren Records has gained significant traction in the past few years. What do you think sets this collective apart in the current musical landscape that could often be, cluttered and have a lot of things in it? What sets Van Buren Records apart?
A few things. We're all from Brockton.
Hmm.
Most of us are Haitian. Like it's just
Oh wow.
yeah, it's just collected a collection of Haitian men.
Hmm.
um, yeah, like I said, like what I was saying earlier about being Haitian, just how you just have this fighting spirit. Like
Hmm.
my collective definitely has that. Um, so and I just think we're really just expressing things from like our own point of view, where like we all come from this small city, and in this city there's so many paths you could walk. There's so many avenues you could take, and every person has had their own walk to life. Although we're so similar in some ways, there's a lot of differences and just upbringings and where we came and our stories and all that. And it's just like a whole bunch of different stories all at once. Whole different, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's a whole different, like a whole different group of people where this person is that, that person is that, that person is that, and we're able to come together and just share that with the world, and it's just a lot of different perspectives, and
For sure. For sure. So I see, that fighting spirit, first of all, connects you guys, but it also sets you all apart because, it gives you all that voice, that identity that, we're here to fight for what we believe in. We're here to fight for, what we stand for and fight for our ethnicity as well. Because I mean, unfortunately, Haiti sometimes gets a bad rap, and for not good, for I mean, for reasons that are crazy to me, are very
Right.
crazy to me. I've always been proud of my Asian brothers and sisters, having known their history and known the struggles that they've gone through, and I think that really shows up um in your music as well.
Right. I thank you, man, because this is real. It's like
Hmm.
there's blood is running through us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so we're moving on again, like I said, to the back end. Um, Looking ahead, what are some of the goals and projects that you look forward to, both in the music side and in the fashion side as well?
Um, just want to keep growing. Just keep growing. Keep sharing this with the world. Keep touching more people. Keep touching different people. Keep touching the youth, the next generation. Uh, just keep shedding light on those that need this light shed on them. There's so much people. There's so many people on this earth. There's 7 billion people on this earth. I gotta at least talk to like 30 million of them. You know what I mean? At
Got
least,
you.
at least I gotta talk to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just to reach the maximum amount of people, that's what I'm hearing you say.
Absolutely.
Got you. Got you. Final question. Somebody wants to collaborate with you, somebody is inspired by whether it be your music or just your perspective on life and these things. Somebody wants to collaborate with you. How can they get in contact with you?
You can usually DM me on Instagram. Email me. I usually check it. Uh, Obviously I don't respond to everybody, but
Right, got you.
and I usually I see a lot of things. You know what I mean? I definitely see the messages people leave me, and sometimes even when people ask me for advice, if I'm able to answer that, okay. And I know when I was a kid, when I was coming up, I used to
Hmm.
send artists messages too, and I would
Right.
always appreciate when they responded back to me. So I try to just do the same for somebody in need.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll leave the link to your IG down below, and hopefully people reach out, and you can connect with, make some good genuine network working opportunities, not just for them but for you as well.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, bro. I'm so happy. I enjoyed this conversation. I hope you did as well. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your
Thank you for having
story.
me.
And I'm very proud of what you have done so far. And I look forward to hearing
Thank you.
even bigger things from you in the future.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So this has been yet another episode of the Game Changers podcast. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming to listen and watch this episode. I hope that you're inspired by this amazing episode. Remember to like and subscribe if you're viewing us on YouTube. Remember also to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can get access to all of our episodes and listen to it on the go. Game Changers is actually best when you listen to it on the go, to inspire you to listen to unique stories from artists and creatives and all our guests, entrepreneurs, all our guests in general. So thank you for coming on, and as usual, stay hungry, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.